Normally, I just like to talk about the goofy things I find on the internet. You know, I kind of like to point and laugh at stuff and kind of have a good time that way. And if I'm not doing that, I'm kind of looking around some drama and stirring some pots somewhere, okay? But today is neither of those style videos. Today's a little bit serious, I guess, but I just wanted to emphasize the importance of this Newfound Glory record, Make the Most of It, because tonight their guitar player, Chad Gilbert, is missing a show in Denver because he's undergoing some radiation therapy for his cancer that he's got. So I don't really have a structured format to this video. I kind of just want to talk this through a little bit. I listened to the new record. I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about a little bit of the efforts going to like fundraising, and I also want to go through the Newfound Glory merch store, and then we'll wrap it up and tie a nice little bow on it at the end. Hey ladies, how's it going? It's your friendly neighborhood gatekeeper here, Dan Frampton, but today we will not be doing much gatekeeping. Today we're going to be talking about this new record over here, Make the Most of It, from Newfound Glory. Now, if you're familiar with Newfound Glory, you know they've been around since the late 90s all the way till now. They haven't even really taken that much of a hiatus. They're putting out records every couple years. They did their first record independently, and then they got signed to a major. They were putting out records on MCA and Geffen for a couple years there, and then after their major label run, they stepped down a rung and released on Epitaph. But this record over here is coming out on Revelation Records. Now, Revelation Records is one of those very legitimate hardcore labels. So it's very cool to see them release a Newfound Glory record, especially this one because it's completely acoustic. There's a whole batch of new acoustic cuts on here, and there's a bunch of live versions of the older songs. But this record over here really touches on a lot of those cancer topics that is going on throughout the band right now, and kind of pontificating on life without it, life with it, what would happen if he were to pass. You know, all these sorts of things are being thought of and articulated through music on this record. It's deeply personal, it's extremely gut-wrenching, especially when you think like there's whole families involved in this. Now, I'm gonna exercise restraint in this video and not talk about any of the drama surrounding this band, in particular the Hayley Williams stuff, because this is having to do with like a life or death illness or whatever, and that kind of takes precedence over everything else. So I don't know what it's like to be a family man. I don't know what it's like to battle a life-threatening illness. So this record isn't really super relatable for me, but it really gives me a peek behind the curtain to see what it would be like to live like that. And yeah, it doesn't seem like a whole lot of fun. And not only do you gotta fight this thing and like in the back of your mind wonder what's going to happen to my family, what's going to happen to my kids, what's going to happen to my stuff, what's going to happen to my legacy. All that sort of stuff would be going on in your head. And on top of that, you're missing shows with your bands and your buds. But if we just take a peek over here at Chad Gilbert's Instagram for a little bit, there's going to be a couple posts I want to direct you towards. Now, I'm going to recommend that you go out and watch this video in full. This is Chad talking about how he didn't want this to be his cancer record, but ultimately it had to be his cancer record because this stuff needed to be talked about. And in this video, he goes through what the diagnosis is, which is called pheochromocytoma, and he kind of explains it better than I ever could, and probably even pronounces it better than that. But he goes on to explain that all the physical records here of the Newfound Glory record make the most of it, which, given the subject matter, is a great title for the record. All the proceeds, well, not all the proceeds, a portion of the proceeds go towards this Pheopara organization over here, which helps fight pheochromocytoma. And if buying the record isn't enough support for you to do, if you want to support a little bit more than that, well then you're in luck, because they also have this t-shirt over here. And on the back it says, proceeds from the sale of this shirt have been donated to help spread awareness, educate and find research for pheochromocytoma, a rare, I can't read this word, it's too blurry, tumor. And then it says, please look it up. And then here it is, we looked it up, here it is, here's the organization for it. So please do whatever you can to help these guys out. But all these years later, the kings of pop punk are still doing it, and they're doing it like an independent hardcore band right now, because they're even playing Program, Skate, and Sound, which is the coolest venue in all of the world right now, in my opinion. It's this skate shop, it's also this record shop, and it's also this little venue. It gets really intimate. You could probably pack like 50 to 75 people in there, but it feels like a million, okay? It's just so packed in like sardines. And when the passion and intensity come out, you know it's bound to get sweaty and stinky. And if you're not familiar with Program, Skate, and Sound, they also have a whole Instagram page over here. I recommend that you go follow that that and keep up with all their posts. But here's their post about the New Found Glory set. And look, everybody's just like getting crushed, but they're all loving it. They're having a great time singing along. And if you want to witness this set for yourself, and Esteban U98 has a couple videos up here that deserve more views. Look, 400 views, 200 views. Go watch these two songs. I'll give you a little sneak peek right here. Oh, I love it, dude. They look like 50-year-old hardcore kids. It's amazing. And you got Jordan out here representing the Triple B record label on his hat. Like, they're still New Found Glory, and they're doing the coolest shows of their life right now, in my opinion. So go check out these two songs. I wish the full set was available, but to my knowledge, I can't find it. But if we head on over to the New Found Glory shop, we're gonna see that they have the best merch in the game for any band almost ever. Take a look at this windbreaker over here, okay? Now this has their like the flowers from their record over here, from that album art on the back, and it looks like it's stunningly rendered, and then it's just like a 3/4 length zip here in the front. You got the pockets, you got the logo, you got the pink and black attack. It's a beautiful garment, okay? And it's not available yet. It's only going to be available February 23rd. There's only going to be 100, so very limited. I'm going to want to get my hands on one of these, for sure, for sure. And then you talk about being truest to the hardcore scene. You know they got a camo hoodie over here with tattoo designs on it. Get me home tee. The artwork on this is simple, it's effective, it's high contrast, and you'd want to wear it. It's very stylish. This is where you can buy that charity shirt over here too, newfoundglorystuff.com. And they just nail all these aesthetics. Look at this little baseball thing they got going here. Beautiful. Sticks and Stones, 20. They go for a little bit of the 80s horror aesthetic over here. Better Off Dead, very cool. I'd want to wear all of this stuff. If I had all the money in the world, I would order one of everything over here. This stuff is so cool. Horror Godfather vibes over here. You want a tote bag? They got a tote bag. It's like a trick-or-treat bag. It's kind of cool. You don't expect all this kind of like horror Halloween themed stuff from New Found Glory, but I'm digging it. Oh, you want a Metallica shirt but don't want to support Metallica because they're Metallica? Well, you can go over here and get this Master of Puppets thing over here. Master of Pop Punk. And that they are. They are very good at playing the pop punk tunes. Every one of their shirts is better than the last. Take a peek at this pizza over here. What a design. Since 1997. Golly. Then they go ham on this Florida Gators thing. You can get this in a whole bunch of different colors. This is just very standard, very cool stuff. And you gotta love it in the Chicago Bulls colorway. Oh, you want tie-dye? They got tie-dye. Oh, you want Simpsons? They got Simpsons. Pop punk's not dead. Oh, you want a MTV shirt but don't want to support MTV? They got you covered. Cool skeletons doing cool retro things is something that I'm very much into, and here we got like this skeleton guy on top of this Back to the Future themed shirt. They just know the aesthetic that they want for their stuff, and every single time it is hammered out of the park. Like absolutely hammered. More horror themed stuff over here. New Found Glory kills. Teal board shorts. Are you friggin' kidding me? Oh, a black metal shirt? True Florida pop punk? I love it. It's got the corpse paint on and everything. That's so cool. Oh man, I love it. Oh, you got the Warped Tour tank top, also in tie-dye. Very awesome. Now you guys know I hate a bucket hat, and that's no exception here. I'm not a fan of this, but you know, they are selling, so it's a missed opportunity if you don't have it. You got the beach towel, you got this early 90s neon aesthetic thing. I love this. This is disgusting. It kind of reminds me of the Sound and Fury logo too, which is another like hardcore scene nod. You gotta love it. Their parodies of everything is awesome. I would have never thought to do a Blockbuster themed thing, but they're like, we're a 90s band, we're kind of like a nostalgia thing. What's another nostalgia thing from that time? Blockbuster. This is a perfectly executed concept. Brilliant, genius, absolutely radical, bro. Oh, it's like a strongman thing. You got something from all the eras, from 1920 to 2020. It's like 100 years of graphic design. They got it all. And the last one I want to take a look at over here is this kind of like crossover thrash inspired shirt over here. You got kind of the Suicidal Tendencies font down the side here. You got the Biohazard logo here. You got the guy, the skull on the front, literal Biohazard stuff, wearing wearing the suicidal tendencies cap with the brim flipped up or whatever. You gotta love all these nods to the culture. So I think New Found Glory are doing a lot of things right as a band. And say whatever you want about the drama regarding Chad and Haley. I'm not here for that. I don't care about any of that. I just want to see him back out there on the road with his band, because it's a shame to see him missing shows because he's undergoing radiation therapy. So hopefully he can walk down the same road that Mark Hoppus walked down, and that is the road to recovery. So go pick up that shirt, go pick up that record. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe before you bounce on out of here. Ring the bell if you're cool as hell, and until my next upload, you can watch another upload.